Well, it's guys' night, and I was thinking about, guys have some difficulties when it comes to like the relationship dating thing, and that guys are supposed to be the one that like kicks things off and gets it going, right? Like you've got to be the one that asks her. I mean, some girls do the asking, and that's okay if they want to do that, but most of the time it's the guy that's got to like initiate the stuff, initiate the conversation, ask, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, but so I think what I'd like to do is help guys at least break the ice with somebody by giving you some pickup lines that you could use. I asked on Snapchat, and I got a whole bunch, so I'm not going to read all of them. I got a few here, so let's see. Do you have a name, or can I call you mine? Yeah, no? Okay. Roses are red, violets are blue, lava is hot, and so are you. I should call you Google, because you're everything I've been searching for. I might be ugly, but I'll treat you right. That's how I got Tracy right there. That's how I got Tracy. Okay. When I'm thinking about you, I can't sleep because you are better than all my dreams. Ooh. Okay, so here you go. You go up to you and say, what time is it? Okay, and they're like, well, it's 7:53. And you go, great. Now I know. February 20th, 7:53 was the day I met the most beautiful girl in the world. Ooh. Okay. Is your name Wi-Fi? Because I'm feeling a connection. Okay. Aside from being beautiful, what do you do for a living? That one fell flat. You must be Jamaican because you Jamaican me crazy. Okay, I don't know. That's stupid. Do you know what material this is? Boyfriend material. There it is. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 9. I'm the one you need. Okay? Is your dad a terrorist? Because you're the bomb. Okay? I was blinded by your beauty. I'm going to need your name and number for insurance purposes. Forget about Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman. I'll be your man. Yeah. Is that what you used? Okay, all right. He's like, I know that one by heart. Okay. Do you think you could help me fix my phone? There's something wrong with it. What's wrong? It doesn't have your number. All right, there you go. So I can guarantee if you use these, you will stay single. So don't use any of those at all. They won't work. I don't know, maybe it'll work, I don't know. So we started talking about relationships because, relationships are going to be a part of your life. All of you are in different places. Some of you are in a relationship right now. Like you've got a boyfriend, you've got a girlfriend, you're in a relationship right now. Some of you have been in many relationships and you're like, I want nothing to do with that stuff right now. That's just a big mess. I don't want to touch that. Some of you are like, please, Lord, just one relationship would be fine. Just one. Like you've got all different places, and I know that's kind of right. But at some point in your life, believe it or not, you will most likely date somebody. You will most likely be in a relationship. And it will either be amazing or horrible, okay? And so what we want to do is lean that thing towards amazing, okay? And get away from the horrible. So we're figuring out a little bit about how relationships can work. Now, I've been married for 6 years, and I can tell you that it is amazing. It is really good when it goes right. When you do it right, when you get it figured out right, it's an amazing thing. It's the greatest joy I have to have somebody that I live life with, and we love each other, and we care for each other, and it's so much fun. It's just fun. It really is. But I've also seen the opposite. In fact, I was thinking about someone who me and Tracy went to their wedding. They were friends of ours, and we went to their wedding, and it was beautiful. They rented this expensive place and served everybody meals. It had to have been tens of thousands of dollars for this wedding. One of those, okay, it was amazing. Okay, we're like, wow. And all their family came. Y'all been to a wedding, right? There's all these people celebrating, right? About 3 years later, they're divorced. And it's like, all that for nothing, right? All that, and then it's over. And that's not where we want to be, right? That is not what's meant to be. And what we've been talking about is what is meant to be in relationships and what we could have or what is meant to be. And so maybe you don't care about this, but we've been talking about what Jesus said was meant to be when it came to relationships. And so we looked at this every week, and I'm just going to briefly look at it one more time. Jesus was talking about relationships, and he said, at the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. So from the very beginning, his idea was there'd be a guy and a girl, and then something would happen. He said, for this reason, the man would leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, or with his wife. to his wife. I said it right the first time. And the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one. Like something happens where they're not just one person anymore, they're two people anymore, they're one now. It's something spiritual, it's something amazing that happens there, okay? And then he says, and therefore what God has joined together, let man not separate. Now, I've showed this verse every single week because what I want us to understand is that God created relationships and that what he creates is good because some of you have never seen good. Because if your relationships go like your parents' relationship went, that's not going to be good for some of you, right? Some of you, many of you, in fact, I think if you actually live with both of your parents at home, you're in the minority in the room, okay? For most of you have experienced your parents separating. And, or some of you, their parents are still together and all they do is fight. And you're like, I don't want that either, okay? And so some of you have never seen good and you don't even know if it can be good. And what I want us to see is that what God created is good and it can be good, and what is meant to be is something great. And so we want to learn how to get there. So the most important thing that we've said, and this is the third week if it's your first time, we've kind of been talking about this for a little while. The most important thing we've said that you can do is become who you're meant to be. If you become who you're meant to be, your relationships will be better. Because if you're a jerk, you're going to have bad relationships. Does that make sense? Because you're going to be in the relationship and you're a jerk, okay? And so the nice person is going to come along and you're going to be jerk to them. If you have anger issues and you always blow up on people, right? You blow up on your mom, you blow up on your sister, you blow up, okay? And you're doing this, you know what's going to happen when you get married? They're going to be so hot that I'm never going to get mad at them. Wrong, okay, that's stupid, all right? That's what you think is going to happen, but you're going to get mad at them. And if we don't learn to control those, we don't learn to grow up and deal with that, guess what's going to happen in our relationships? We're going to mess up our relationships. The most important thing we can do is become who we're meant to be. But I want to talk about another extremely important thing. In fact, if you get this one wrong, your relationship will be bad. Guaranteed bad, okay? And it's a simple thing, and I think that you will understand and agree that who you date matters a lot. Like really. Like seriously, okay? Who you date matters. And we get that, but maybe we don't get that because we make some really bad choices in this area. But who you date matters. Now, how many of you, or you don't have to raise your hand or anything, but think about this. Are you closer to God because of somebody in your life? And I think that for most of you, if you're close to God, there is somebody that has helped you. We'll ask the other way. Have you done really stupid things because of somebody that you're friends with? Yeah, okay. Lots of big Greg. So we know that the people influence us. It's the person next to you you've done stupid things with. I understand. Okay. We have a little saying that we say around here, and that is this. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Show me your friends. So if I look and I see who your closest friends are, like your closest 2, 3, 4, 5 friends, okay, the people that you talk to the most, hang out with the most, I can get a great picture of what your future is going to be. If they are people who like to study and do their homework and do this, that's where you tend to go, okay? And some of you are like, oh yeah, that's that nerd group over there. Okay, I understand, I was in that group. Whatever your friends, if we kind of just look at the things that they're interested in, the things that they're doing, the way they're living their life, you start to get a snapshot, an image of what yours is going to look like. And so we can see into your future, right? But it's so important who we're close to. Now, when it comes to relationships and dating, okay, it's extremely important. As I don't know if you've thought about this, but every committed relationship you get into, so you decide to date your boyfriend, girlfriend, you're going out, whatever your terminology is, okay, you're dating, okay, it is either going to end in a breakup or you're going to get married. You're either going to break up or you're going to get married, or you can live together for the rest of your life in sin. Okay, or you can live together, or you can break up, or you're going to get married. That's the way it's going to go. Okay, so what you need to realize is someone that you date, you're going to marry. That's the thing. So you want to date the right people, because if you date the wrong people, you're going to marry the wrong person. Okay, probably not people. We're not King Solomon. All right, we don't want to. So if you date the right person, you're going to end up marrying the right person. Who we date is extremely important. Now, there's a verse that some of you, if you've been around, you're predicting I'm going to use it. And yeah, you're right. I am going to use it because it's like help us understand this concept, okay? This is something that Paul wrote to a church in Corinthians, and apparently they were confusing some things, so he was trying to help them, and he said, do not be yoked together with unbelievers. Now, that doesn't make a lot of sense to us because we don't talk that way. He's not talking about like breakfast egg yolks, okay? He's not talking about omelets or anything like that. He's talking about yoke. Well, yoke is this. So they would have like plowing. Y'all know what plowing is, okay? And they would have two oxen. Yeah, oxen, not oxes, right? Oxen, two of those, and they would put a yoke on them. Okay, a yoke would connect the two together so that they could plow this field. Okay, so they had the yoke. In fact, maybe we would understand it better if I need a couple. Who is dating in here? Okay, all right. Okay, I would pick Nick, but he had his wisdom teeth taken out today, and that would be like a bad choice. How about Kenzie and Kyle come up here, all right? All right, come here. All right. They're not even sitting by each other. I love that. That is awesome. Like their whole life doesn't have to revolve around this. Okay, y'all just come up here for a minute, and we're going to just stand anywhere up here. You're good. How do y'all feel about being on stage? Okay, so what we're going to use is my yoke. Now, if you were oxen, we'd put this around your neck, but I don't want any lawsuits. So I'm going to see if I can get this. Can you put that around you because I don't like hug you right now? Okay. No, the other way, like this. There we go. All right. So what we're going to do, we're yoking them, okay? This is my makeshift yoke out of 2x4 and rope. Nice and tight. Okay. Can you breathe? All right. Hold on. Okay. Just one. You got it? He's still working on his side. Now, all right, so they're yoked. Can you breathe? You okay? Okay, all right. Now, you can understand right now, let's just think about walking. Okay, if they're going to go anywhere, they're going together. They're going in the same place. So if they wanted to walk over here together, there we go. All right, that works pretty easy. But if she really likes it over here, and she's kind of like, yeah, I like this zone. I'm not as much in the spotlight over here. But he's like, I really want to go over to the TV. And so he decides that's what he's going to do. All right. Now, in this situation, okay, don't hurt her too much. Okay, in this situation, she's not in a good shape here. Now, you can see where this is important now when it comes to dating. Because you are connecting your life to a person. Now, not everybody that you're friends with, you're yoked to. You eat with people at lunch, you hang out with people, there's people on your team, in your band, or whatever you're doing. There's people that you're around, and they're not influencing the direction of your life. At least I hope that every person that you talk to, you don't have to please them and influence the direction of your life. If that's true, you need to work on priorities and not caring what people think about you, okay? But there are definitely people in your life that are influencing the direction of your life. And I want to clear something up because I think that I have maybe confused you about this. Okay, it is not that you have this person in your life who's going you want to come drink and do pot this weekend? I don't know, that's not what I mean, okay? We always think in these extremes like this, okay? I'm not saying that, but what it normally looks like is this, okay? So since we're talking about dating, let's just hone in on that. A guy and a girl will start dating, and let's say that she is in love with Jesus, pursuing God, on fire for God, okay? You got that image, okay? And he is like, I don't really care about the God thing. Okay? Now, if he was like, I hate God, and if you go to church, then I'm not going to have anything to do with you, that would actually be better because she would just go, no, thank you, I'm done, okay? And move on and go to the next guy. But the way it usually is he's like, oh, no, you do your church thing. I like that. That's cool about you. That's great. I'm just going to do me, and that's not me. And so they think, oh, this is great. Because we can be together and I'm going to win him for Jesus and that whole thing. And so what happens is on Wednesday night, she goes, I'm going to go to church. You want to come? He's like, no, I don't want to go. And she's like, okay. So she goes to church and he stays home. Next week, hey, I'm going to church. And he's like, yo, that's great. Have fun. Next week, he's like, hey, I'm hanging out. I don't know what their conversation is. It's important, though. Next week, they're like, hey, this is, or she's like, I'm going to church. She's like, oh, man, you should come hang out. I'm bored. It's Wednesday. I have nothing to do. No, I got to go. And the next week, and eventually there's this pulling that happens. And she's like, oh, I'm not going to go. I'll come hang out with you tonight. And it's just this slow pulling. Y'all see what I'm saying? Because here's what's happening. You've connected your life with somebody when you decide to commit with them. You know that. And you're going to go in a direction based on them. And even if you manage to pull them towards Jesus, your whole relationship with Jesus, yours is going to be dragging, like somebody's pulling on you. And theirs is not really theirs. It's you pulling on them, and that won't last. Y'all can go back to AJ. He's going to help you. Can you manage to walk down the stairs without falling out? Yeah. Let's give them a hand. They did a good job. Okay. Yeah. Awkwardly standing while I talked about them. Now, we don't realize how connected we are to people, and so it matters. And so what he says is, don't yoke yourself with someone that doesn't believe. Like, why would you connect your life with somebody who doesn't believe what you believe and is not pursuing God like you pursue God? In fact, he goes on and says more about it. He says, what does a believer have in common with an unbeliever? And you're like, we have lots of things in common. She's good looking, and so I'm going to find some things, right? Like, we both have cell phones, okay? I wear clothes to school. She wears clothes to school. It's just, we got so much in common. Okay, and I know really you're going to say, yeah, we have a lot of things in common, okay? We both are in this organization. We both do this thing, and we both have but at some point, what you're going to discover is that there's going to be some conflict. There's going to be some problems because you've yoked yourself, you've connected yourself with somebody that doesn't believe like you. So, like, I don't know about you, but because of my faith and my decision to follow Christ and to live for him, there are things I don't watch. There is stuff I don't listen to. There is things that I've decided I'm not going to put into my body, right? Because I'm following Christ. What if you're in a relationship with somebody that does those things? Not that you're going to start doing those things. Do you realize the problem is your life is going in two different directions? There's going to be a problem there. When I was in college, there was this girl who we were in band together, and we flirted all the time, okay? Just kind of one of those, but we just never had quite taken the plunge to go on a date. And so we both knew we liked each other, it just wasn't time. So one day we're walking on the town square, right? So it's at night, there's like all the lights, it's all nice, and it's kind of sweet. And she looks at me and says, so are we ever going to date? Actually, I think her exact words were, so were you ever going to ask me out? And then I was like, and so then we had the whole relationship conversation and all this. And well, after we would talk for a little while, she goes, I have a concern though. And she goes, I know the way you are and what you do, but she goes, I like to, on the weekends, go out with my friends and drink and do this, and we do the party thing, and I know that you don't. And she goes, and I want to be able to do that. And I'm not sure it would work. And I was like, yeah, I'm not sure it would work. I mean, can you imagine if tonight, like I'm here teaching, right? And Tracy's out at a bar drinking, like how weird would that be, like our relationship? That would not, like, Tracy, like what? Okay, no, but our relationship wouldn't be going in the same way. It's like, what do you have in common? We got so much in common, but there's so much you don't. In fact, you will realize and you will find tension. Maybe not now. Maybe it's later in your life when you decide, hey, I want my kids to go to church, and they don't. And people discover this so much later and so much too late. And there's so much heartache because they yoked themselves together with somebody who wasn't in love and following Jesus. So if I could give you some ideas on how to actually live this out, I'll give you just a couple pointers and we'll be done. Here's the first one. Have standards, okay? You need to have standards on who you decide to be in a relationship with. Now, I know a lot of guys, they have a list, a mental list. It's not like an actual list they've written down, but it looks something like this. They're hot, okay? They're skinny. They have nice hair. They have a pretty smile. Not moody. I'm not all about the looks, okay? And good looking, okay? But and that's pretty much the list, okay? And okay, if that's that can't be your whole list if you're having standards. Now, of course, you want them to be attractive. I'm not telling you got to date somebody even if you think they're ugly. Okay, that's not good. It might help you stay pure. It's like if someone's like, are y'all being okay physically? You're like, oh yeah, I can't even look at him. No, that's not gonna work long term. Okay. But you need to realize that there's got to be more to it than that. There's got to be so much more to it than that. Did you realize marriage is a whole lot more than I look at them and they're hot every day, okay? Yes, I look at my wife like every day and go, wow, she's hot, okay? Like that happens. But that is like this much of our relationship. There's so much of being friends together and talking with each other and going and doing things together and managing a budget together. They're like, oh, that's romantic. Yeah, just all the things that we do as a couple that are so much beyond that, okay? And so you have to have standards and you have to figure that stuff out. Now, I would say the number one thing is you need to have the standard of that they have faith in God. and they have a relationship with God. Not even, for me, it was not even just they believe in Jesus. Okay, great. I was looking for somebody that worshiped with all their heart. I was looking for somebody that was involved in ministry. They didn't just go to church every now and then. They were involved in church. They were doing stuff. They were making a difference in other people's life. And some of you are going, well, that's not even me. Become who you're meant to be. That way, when you find the person you're meant to be with, you'll be who you're meant to be. So we need to work on that maybe. But look, you need to have these standards and decide, I am not going to be in a relationship and go with someone that's not this, that hasn't gotten there. So if that's going to be the case, then there's something else that you're going to need to probably do. Now, this next one is my advice. This is not the Bible says, okay, or anything like that. This is just my advice, okay? You should be friends first. And we talked about this a little last week. It doesn't even make sense what people do. They meet somebody, will you go out with me, okay? And now I'm dating and I don't even know them, okay? That's crazy. You should get to know somebody before. There was a girl who I met, and this was right before Tracy, okay? And she was blonde and skinny. She was like that list, okay? And I thought she was special, and so I was calling her and talking to her, and we went out on some dates. I took her to some different places, and we went out to eat a bunch. And I was talking to her on the phone, and now we weren't in a relationship. We were just getting to know each other, okay? And I would talk to her on the phone, and one day I was talking to her, and I was like, she is so annoying on the phone. And then I'm trying to tell myself, but she's hot. It's okay. She's hot. I can just ignore the annoying. And the next time I talked to her, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so annoying. And I realized there's got to be more to it than just the one thing. Why? So many people would have just jumped into a relationship and then they had to do a whole breakup thing and all this mess, and it was silly. We were friends, and I realized we're just going to stay friends, okay? And people were like, we can't be friends. What if I get friend zoned, okay? If you get friend zoned, it's because they don't find you attractive, okay, or they find you annoying. And that's really it. And you just need to own that and move on to the next person who does, okay? That was mean, PJ. Well, that's just the way that it is, okay? If they found you attractive and not annoying, they would want to date you, okay? That's so bad. Okay, let's keep going. Here's the real big one. And you're going to have to trust God and enjoy being single. Because so many people are thinking, but what if I never find anybody? And what if I'm alone my whole life? And come on, you got to trust God. You got to believe that he's got something for you. And you know what? You can enjoy being single. I learned this. And I went through a phase when I felt like I was supposed to be in a relationship, okay? And this was when I was single. And I was like, I got to find somebody and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And then I realized being single is fun. Do you know what I had when I was single? Money, yeah. I graduated college and I got a full-time job, and I was like, I don't have to spend this on anyone but me. I bought a car, I went out to eat when I want, I did what I wanted, now I got to give half of it to her, okay? No, I'm just kidding, no, it's fun. But no, it's enjoyable, and you get to do what you want to do. You get to live, and you know what? If you want to do stuff for God, you're going to get to do great, amazing things. You don't have somebody else to be accountable to. It is fun to be single, and by the way, once you get married, you don't get to be single ever again, okay? That doesn't go backwards, and so you enjoy it now. It is a season, a fun season that you get to enjoy, and you got to trust God with it. You got to trust him that he does have something good for you if you'll just enjoy the season that you're in. And okay, and some of you are like, but what if I got to try, I got to get with them even if they're not the right one. It's better than being alone. It's better than being alone. And I just want you, girls, no boyfriend is way better than the wrong boyfriend, okay? You want to get your life all messed up and get a bunch of heartbreak and all kinds of stuff, get the wrong one. It is way better to be with no one for a season than it is to be with the wrong one. Guys, no girlfriend is way better than the wrong girlfriend. You want to mess up your future relationship with your future spouse? Get with a girl right now that has no moral standards and see where your relationship goes and how that ends, and then you see what happens in your future marriage. It's not good. And so it is way better to have none than to have the wrong one. When I was in college, I had a friend, and she had just gotten out of a relationship, and I could tell that she was not doing well after, and it was actually had already been quite a while. And I would try and talk to her about it, and she wouldn't really want to open up, and so I wouldn't press too long. But after a while, one night, I finally got to crack open the box and see what was really wrong. Because, I could tell she was pretty depressed and pretty broken by it. And I discovered why she didn't want to share it with me. And so she told me about how the relationship started, and he was so much fun, and he was funny, and they really enjoyed their times together, and everything was so good. And then he started wanting to be physical, do physical things with her. And the first time he kind of asked her, and she was kind of like, no, I don't want to. And but he was like, okay, whatever. And it just kept pushing until it finally came to this point where she realized if she felt like if she didn't, he was going to end the relationship. And so she said, so I did some stuff, and the relationship continued, and we did more, and we did more. And what she said to me was, I did things with him I didn't think I would ever do with my boyfriend, because I was afraid of being alone and that he would end it and I wouldn't have anybody else. And what I was so sad about is because she didn't know. What did she not know? She didn't know that she could trust God. And that she could have looked at him that first time and said, get away from me, loser. There's somebody better in me with my future, okay? She didn't know that she could trust God. She didn't know about this verse right here, that if you delight yourself in the Lord, he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to him and trust in him. He'll give you the desires. That does not mean that you look and see some hot girl and go, Lord, I'm delighting in you for that one. Okay, that's not what I mean. Okay, there were girls I thought were going to be the one all growing up. None of them were. He knew what was really in the desires of my heart and saved Tracy for me. But I had to trust in him, and I had to wait in him. And I want you to know you can trust in him, and you can wait for him. Wait in the Lord, and you delight yourself in the Lord just means this, that you find your peace in him, you find your comfort in your relationship with him. And then you wait for the right one. Don't get in a relationship with somebody just because you're lonely. A lot of people give people a second chance, a second look just because they're lonely. That's not a good reason. You need to wait, because if you date the wrong person, you marry the wrong person, and then you have a miserable existence, okay? And so what we want to do is you want to do it right. Have standards. Make a decision. Make a list if you want to, but decide, I'm not going to get in a relationship unless this is there. And if you do that, your relationships will be so much better. I want to just end tonight with a quick time of prayer, and then we're going to have some stuff for the guys. But if you have anything that's going on in your life that you need prayer about, we want to pray with you. Maybe you've gone through some bad relationships and you just got some brokenness inside and you want healing for that. Maybe you're just having trouble with school or trouble at home or something that's going on in your life. We'll let somebody pray with you and believe for better things and for God to do a work in your heart. Father, we thank you that you love us. I pray that you would just minister to anyone that needs you tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.